In business, I think you have to make tough decisions. You have to do things that you don't want to do. And those that don't change often fail.
If you're not growing, you're dying, right? It often means the difference between thriving and just surviving.
Change is absolutely crucial. You can't move forward, you can't evolve if you're not changing your mindset.
And so I think a mindset shift at that point to really try and embrace that change has been something that everybody in an organization should try to do.
So through years of working with clients and developing the framework that we now use for brand, we realized that we needed to apply that model to the agency as well to help us overcome the challenges that we're facing and the growth that we needed.
Yeah, BrandCraft started as a creative company. That was really all we did. So it was websites, it was logo design, and it was print. And that was back in 2012. We quickly had to change and modify the brand a bit to be more of a digital marketing agency in around 2016 and 17. And that was a good change for us. And it led to success and it led to growth.
When I was hired, we did mostly just graphic design and a little bit of web. It was really just meet with the client and then here's the stuff. It was just where we were at as a company. It was just me and Tori. And then we started becoming more strategic. Each new hire was definitely important in that.
Pairing the digital marketing and the more strategic marketing side of BrandCraft with the creative, it was a good way to grow and a good way for us to expand our services. We realized that for brand to matter in marketing, we really had to understand a client very well. And when we were just mainly doing design or logo, it really wasn't, it was about more like preferences. What would you like to do? What colors would you like? What are your competitors doing? But really we started looking at, okay, what do you try and solve for your customer? What is it that you bring and how are you different?
Ever since I started at BrandCraft, it's always been about trying to improve our clients' businesses and to help them grow. And I think because of our drive to help and to be results driven, we've just continued to adapt and refine our brand process. I think over the years it's just gotten better and better to the point to where we've actually realized we sort of built this by accident, maybe even this perfectly refined process that just really helps business owners who are at a pivotal point and they're trying to grow and trying to reclaim or establish who they are.
And then really in 2023 is when we really, I think, came across a system and a process for us to get that information out of our clients, turn that into messaging and deliver it. And I think that is what first really started my thought of, we need to make this the brand.
I would say it was more of a realization that by trying to be everything to everyone under one umbrella, we were limiting our messaging. It ultimately felt a little too broad, a little too watered down. But rather than viewing it as an either or, we can be everything or we can be one thing, we got creative with it and looked at how we could be more specific and more targeted in the effort and really targeting the core customer and relating to them.
What we're doing, which is this idea that if you start with brand and you start with our process, it's really going to set you up well for the other things you have to do within your organization, both business-wise and then obviously in marketing as well.
We get into the details, we get to learn more about them, and typically we come up with more successful solutions because there's meaning behind it.
Clients that start with us through brand, we're going to get to know them on a borderline intimate level. Once we know a client and we know what their struggles are, what their goals are, what we're producing for them, will not only be our best work, it will look great, it will perform great, but it will be the client's best work too. And I think that that's a really valuable asset for both them and for us.
My role was just really to work in the positioning exercise to try and understand the direction that we were going to go, the philosophies of our leadership team with Tori and Kelly and Paul, and try to build a brand and write content around it that would speak to our ideal clients.
We're taking our own medicine and we're treating our agency as we would a client's.
In my mind, the biggest challenges we had in those discussions were identifying differentiators, not being what everybody else is. And I think what the team was really able to get out of us was this idea that we have a strong success with a certain client. They're really tightly held, that have an organizational group and a leader that are having some kind of issue or inflection point in their company. Maybe it's a new owner is trying to put their stamp on the company and say, this is what I want moving forward.
Simply put, we can relate to business owners because we're running a business as well. We understand the challenges that they're facing. We've also been working with founders and leaders of businesses for decades now.
So ultimately, I think a lot of the conversation and a lot of the back and forth got us to, okay, how do we create that trust? How do we talk to this client in a way where they understand that we're really trying to serve them and we're really trying to solve a problem for them?
Exactly what is it that all of these clients, despite all their different struggles and needs, have in common? What is it they're all really looking to do? And I think there's a lot of magic there that we can walk our clients through a journey, let our message and let the core of who we are speak, because that's what a brand really is. And I think we're taking it in a way that will really resonate with our ideal clients.
You know, I think for the first time, using our brand process, we truly have a brand that now we're creating that I think does align the leadership team with all of the employees, also with marketing, and also with products and what we're providing.
I'm just really excited that we have a clear path forward. Just thinking back about it, like, we've come so far from those beginning days. BrandCraft's been at kind of a really big pivotal point in the company, and going through all of it with Tori and Kelly, it's all been exciting. And I would hope that everyone else feels just as excited because we've all matured as individuals and as a company together. I want us to have a brand that reflects that.
And I think it really shows in the brand work that emerged, really exploring brand as a true DNA of the company, really an ethos and what we are from our core.
For us, this brand launch is actually a reimagination of what BrandCraft is going to be. So in that way, for the first time, we're really living our own process and living the brand.
Magic happens when leaders get around a table and talk honestly about who they are. We're really focused on what it is we do best and how we help our clients best. The new direction with our brand is right because it's really a representation of who we are as an agency.
I loved it from the start and just can't wait to launch it out for others to see it.
Whether you've taken over an established business and you're looking to make your mark on its future, or you're its founder and need to realign the team to your original mission, what you do next matters. More than matters. It's vital, possibly existential for your company. That's why BrandCraft's immersive brand method was designed to get to the core of who your business is, uncover what's truly unique about it, and then develop messaging that builds stronger connections, both with your internal teams and your customers. So when the story has been told and the book is closed, you can be sure it's yours.
Own your next chapter, this tagline, I knew immediately when we left the brand positioning exercise that I wanted to do something with own or founded, because we talked so much about those being our ideal clients. Figuring out the next part of exactly what is it that they're all really looking to do. And the truth is they're all looking to make sure that the next chapter of their business is theirs.
Own Your Next Chapter is really about embodying the sense of empowerment that we deliver our clients.
And that brand promise is just as important. What is the brand promise that we're bringing to our client? One of the ways that we knew that we could separate and differentiate was our brand work, and our focus on brand, which is much more strategic and business oriented, is something that we needed to message differently.
It's so much more than a logo or a set of colors. It's the foundation, it's the core of what a company is. It's the way that your customers and clients see you and the way they think about you. It's the way that your team thinks and feels about the business. When you get that right, that's when the growth happens.
Yeah, now we're not a design agency. Ultimately, we're solving business problems.
In the past couple years, we've really focused on developing our proprietary brand process, really growing and creating excellent work for our clients.
We really focused on messaging, and messaging that appeals to that client, and messaging to say, we are here to only support their next chapter, whatever that means. We try and make that happen.
It felt really true. you could see that emerging in everybody, and all of a sudden it started to really tell our story in this very unique and special way. You know, we don't strive for safety and security so much as really pushing to solve bigger problems, try new things, challenge ourselves. We've learned and honed a process that allows us to listen more than we speak and understand what it is they're facing and develop solutions to those core problems rather than focusing on a list of services or outcomes that don't address, the root cause or issue.
And of course, as part of a brand, there's always a visual aspect to it.
We've definitely dialed down on the amount of colors that we're using significantly. It's a more mature look. We didn't change the logo, we didn't change the word mark, those remain the same. What we did do is focused on making sure that we know what kind of photos we're going to use. We know what kind of graphic elements we're going to use.
The simplicity of this design, I think, really allows our message to resonate. We picked photography styles that don't highlight our colors, but instead could be complementary to clients' brands. That way they can really see themselves working with us and make our brand really about them.
It put a focus on things that they should, which is our client work and our messaging. I was really excited to see a blue color introduced. To me, it holds a special meaning.
Tori had started with blue with BrandCraft. We're kind of paying tribute to that foundation.
One of the things that excites me the most is diving deeper with our clients and taking them through our process. Not only do they get to know themselves better, but the finished product is better.
This agency's definitely come into its own. I can't say enough about our team and our ability to collaborate and really work together.
Our brand process really is allowing us, no cliche, it's allowing us to define our next chapter. We are a very specific thing. We are a strategic brand agency.
We do a lot of really awesome things. We create things, we build things, we test things. But ultimately, the root of all that is trying to help other business leaders achieve their goals.
I think it will only help us serve our clients even better in the future.